Hey y'all, it's Donika, one half of Black Women Healing Podcast. And today I'm just here to give a small, short, little, I guess you could say, just some feedback on what I thought of this Diddy film. It's so funny how Black people, we always create our own titles. I think it's called The Reckoning or something. But, everybody been just saying the Diddy film on Netflix, executive produced by 50 Cent. That's been a really huge component people keep bringing up too. But so basically, it's 4 different, episodes. They're about an hour long, I believe, so it does take some time to get to and get through. I'm not gonna give too much of the series. I'm not gonna do too much. I just wanna give a little bit of feedback. So 1, if you do watch it, make sure that you are safe. Take breaks if you need it because it is a lot of information. It can be very triggering because it's talking about a lot of trauma and just overall struggles, issues, physical violence, sexual violence, um, childhood abuse, all the types of things. So my synopsis is it kind of goes through childhood, family, fame and power, romantic relationships, friendships, scandal, and then ultimately the demise. Which, if I'm being honest, I kind of feel like most of these types of films of folks' lives, especially when there's like some incarceration involved or sometimes incarceration isn't involved and they're just given a summary of or a documentary of this person's life. It kind of goes like this. They go and they start with talking about the childhood, which I agree. I do think that childhood impacts how we are, but I do think it's a few different things that they really didn't go into enough, in my opinion. And so I want to go into it. So I think that if it's anything to take away, it's the overarching systematic corruption of music labels or entertainment and industry. So what I mean by this is that I think that there's so many um, reasons of why him and other artists and other folks in entertainment are impacted by this system. One of the things being starting from this kind of like hazing level, when you're an assistant, when you're a PA, like when you're all those things, it's like you're the bottom of the bottom. You don't even deserve human decency and respect. You don't exist. If I tell you to scrub my feet right now, you have to do it, which is humiliating. And it creates a whole bunch of trauma just in that. It's embarrassing. And so thinking of where he started from, of this like assistant, I'm willing to do anything to get your approval. I'm willing to do anything to get to the power, to control the money, and then also seeing people who got to this level who get to do whatever they want to. It sounds like that really was a core of it as well. And like chasing that. So, I mean, it sounds like he went through that. So then he ultimately did that to any and everybody but beneath him, I guess you can say. Let me not say beneath, because that goes into this whole systematic corruption of how we're thinking of the entertainment. He did this to anybody who was working for him or working around him that he felt was beneath him. And so I think that he ultimately became a part of the corruption. And some people, like, it sounds like he thrived in it. They talk about, they ask him, I forget the director's name, I'm sorry, or the person who asked him to go get something from a not cheesecake. It was something. He asked him to go get something, and he ran back, and he ran back and forth, and he was like, "How'd you get there that fast?" And he was like, "I ran." That shows his eager and urgency to want to get to the top, but that doesn't mean that has to be the standard of making it, of climbing. Like, why does it have to be that far? You know what I'm saying? And I think that showing that in a lot of these companies, and it's not even, if I'm being honest, it's not even just the entertainment industry, it's a lot of work culture in general, where it's like, I have to break my back, I have to tire myself out, drain myself out, burn myself out mentally, physically, emotionally, to get to a certain level. Why is that the standard? Why do I have to kill myself, embarrass myself, humiliate myself, harm myself to get to this level? And have you all not seen that the people who are typically at those levels are typically distraught? They're usually mentally messed up. They're having troubles, even on the outside, right? If it looks good, there's so many internal battles that those folks are facing that are not really talked about. So you only see the outside. But again, like in thinking of some of this, it was sad for me and this is my empathetic, humanistic, like what he did is horrible. But looking at that film, like he just seemed like a little boy, y'all. And that's how I think of a lot of times when, I mean, sometimes it's not just men, it's in general because we're impacted. It's like that man need a hug. He over here, he just sound like a child to me. You know what I'm saying? Like this grown man. He had his children around. It just seemed like he was stuck in a child's mindset, you know? Uh, and nobody really there to, I don't want, because I do think that we should be reparenting ourselves. I talked about this even with my clients as a therapist. Like, yes, it's only so much our parents can do. It's like Diddy needs to reparent some pieces of himself because he is a little boy who doesn't know how to deal with his emotions. It doesn't sound like he even recognized like the reality of what's really going on here. You know, he's just chasing this fame and fortune, and it's gonna catch up. I mean, which is, we can say this incarceration is catching up, but I don't think so. I think catching up is when this happens, when your mental really is able to sit in it and see what's happened here, the people who's been impacted, yourself that's been impacted, and also then it comes back to this humanistic piece of like, I am a believer that people can redeem themselves. People can change. Now, what that looks like for him, I don't know, but I do think so. And so I hope that he gets the help. I hope that everybody who's impacted gets the help. That was another thing when I was watching all the friends and the family and the people who've been interviewed, even the jurors. I was like, yeah, I hope y'all getting support, whether it's therapy, support groups, or something, because even just reliving and thinking of the things that they've been through, and even just hearing other people's perspectives of things maybe you didn't even know, where it's like tying together, that is traumatic, you know? Watching that video, if you watch the documentary, I hope also if you're not in therapy, you have some way of support and feeling like that you're getting to process what you see. Watching somebody get drugged in the hallway is traumatic. And again, it may look different for all of us, but it's traumatic. So I hope that y'all getting support. And so I hope that this has been helpful. If I give a synopsis of what I would like for you to take away from this is like, let's have more conversation about this hazing. And I know it's a strong word to use, but I feel like it is. That's what this is when we think of starting in companies in the entertainment industry. It's like they're hazing the folks who are just starting off. And if we all don't know, there are so many impacts, negative impacts of hazing. So let's work on changing that. Let's have some conversations. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like this if you enjoyed it. We typically don't do these types of little feedback and opinions. A lot of times we do it on the episode, but we're trying to like come at you all with more relevant topics during the week. So let me know if you like this. Yeah, I hope y'all have a good day.